All right, guys. So I thought it'd be helpful to show everyone how to change the spark plugs on their car. I'm still surprised as to how many people don't know how to do this, but it's also good that there are so many enthusiasts coming into the space. This will work for just about any car. What I am doing today is a 2011 Ford Expedition. It has the 5.4 Triton, which a lot of people say is difficult to do spark plugs on. We'll talk about that more. But again, this should work on any 4, 6-cylinder, whatever. Basic hand tools here, guys. We've, of course, got our coils and plugs ready. You may need a flathead screwdriver to remove the air intake for more access on some vehicles. We've just got a 3/8 ratchet, a couple extensions as a wobble. You may need it. This is clutch. It is a magnetic spark plug puller. This will save your ass a whole lot of times, so definitely get one of those. And this one for the coils needs a 7 millimeter. I've got it on a 1/4 inch ratchet just because I may need a little more room to work, but let's get right into it. Okay, here's our air intake that is in the way. We're just going to remove this main pipe here. You see we need to access our coils and plugs down here. Yes, I could work around it. No, I don't feel like doing it. It's only 2 flathead slots, so we'll take care of that. All right, so now that we've got that out of the way, we have access to the coils and plugs, a little easier anyway. Another thing I would recommend here, I've just got some benches. You can use chairs, whatever, on either side of the truck just to give me a little bit better reach as far as climbing over the hood. This guy's not too difficult. You will definitely get some vehicles that have a spark plug, buried back in here behind the brake booster on a lot of trucks. Cars, man, it's even worse. There's stuff in the engines in there pretty tight these days, but yeah, it'll look more or less like this. All right, so I pulled the first spark plug out and well, we can clearly see this one's well past due, and so is the coil. And that's kind of what I figured, is that the previous owner didn't do this. You can kind of bet on that when you buy a used car. Let's see if we can focus a little bit more here. Yeah, so we can see the contact is really eroded. It's burned up. Gosh, we even got some rust on this guy, but pretty ugly. Let's go ahead and switch them out. And just a better view, and you will almost always benefit from changing your spark plugs, but there is a new spark plug. We see the contact and the old one. Huge difference. Huge difference. All right, so here's our new coil versus our old coil. We'll go ahead and pop that in. I always do the hardest plug first. So I will show you guys how to do one on a more visible location, but just real quick on these coils, this one's obviously dirty and old. You should kind of do them every 100,000 miles. Some cars a little sooner, some a little later. This is important. That's actually the ground for your ignition coil. So make sure that's clean. If you do use the old ones. Same thing with that bolt. The bolt that goes through there is not just for holding it, it's actually to ground it. So make sure that is clean, not corroded, and that you have that in tightly. All right, guys, so we are tightening up a spark plug here. I just kind of twist these until they're hand tight. And as soon as it starts giving me any resistance, I do like another, let's see, go ahead and get this tight. Like another half turn maybe. You do not want to over tighten these. They will break. So I mean, that's it right there. Any more and I'm trying to break it. So yeah, these aren't hard. They should come out pretty easy. They should go in pretty easy. All right, we have finally reached an ignition coil where I can kind of show you what we got going on here. First things first, you should have some crappy black plastic clip that'll come off. Okay. If you have a loose wiring harness, maybe keep track of these or do them one at a time. If you plug the wrong plug into the wrong coil, your engine is not going to be firing in order, which is a problem. Over here we have like a 7 millimeter. That'll be the bolt for the coil pack. So we'll go ahead and get that guy loose here. These should not take a whole lot of force. Again, guys, all this stuff is fairly easy to deal with. If you're having trouble getting stuff in or out, there's a problem, there's something blocking it, it's stuck, and you should probably reassess. Spark plugs are not something you want to guess on. But go ahead and get this guy unscrewed. These are usually fairly long, bear with me here. And you'll see it start to come loose. All right, we'll just pull our bolt out, we'll keep track of it. This guy looks pretty good. I may brush off some of that corrosion, but overall I like it. And same thing with these. These should just kind of come out. You should just be able to tug on them. They'll pop a little bit. And there we go. And down in there, we will have a spark plug in that nasty hole. I'm going to try not to knock too much crap in there. Be careful. And just a quick word about spark plugs and anti-seize. You're going to see a lot of manuals that say to use anti-seize. You're going to see just as many people in forums and old school mechanics say to not. It's sort of a personal preference at this point. I don't use anti-seize. I've never used anti-seize. I used anti-seize one time in my life, and that was the only time I ever had problems with prugs. It wasn't actually even related to the anti-seize, but I am not going to use it today because on the 5.4 Tritons, especially the first generation, the 2 valves, they were actually known for blowing spark plugs out of the head. So we do want these in there nice and tight. We're not going to give them any extra wiggle room. And you can do that, or you can use anti-seize if you wish. I don't think there's any vehicle that's going to punish you for really using it or not using it. Drop a comment below if you know of one where you absolutely need to, one way or the other. All right, so hopefully you guys can see that. This is why a lot of times you'll want to check and use compressed air or canned air to clean off the port around the ignition coil and the spark plug. You don't want all that debris getting down into your engine. I mean, worst case scenario, if it's just like tree matter, it'll probably burn up. But yeah, your engine doesn't want junk in it. So just be careful when you're doing this. Take a look. If you need to clean stuff out, definitely clean it out before you go digging in there. See, there's some more debris. Other than that, that's about all you'll need. The real problem with this thing is that it's 2 quarts low on oil because it's a piece of crap Ford. And the only real answer at that point is just a freaking twin turbo it. So, you know, screw this daily. I'll figure out a way to do that because it won't run without them.